Well, we've all been speaking about the baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Ys, millennials, all that, right? Very familiar. Well, let me tell you, although it's familiar, it actually does not explain what's happening globally. Let's begin by realizing that only about 1/3 of the planet ever had a baby boom to begin with. We'll take baby booms for granted, but 2/3 of the world never had one. And I bet you've heard something like this before, right? Children now love luxury, they have bad manners, contempt for authority, and they show disrespect for older people, they love gossip, and they don't like activity. Have you heard that? Yeah? Well, guess what? This was said by Socrates 2,400 years ago, okay? So the generation gap is nothing new. As a matter of fact, what's really amazing is how consistent the opinions have been through the thousands of years, you know? That's really surprising. But it's nothing new. So what we're living right now is not your average generational gap. It is not created by generations or age. What we're going through is created by the incredible quantum, unprecedented leap in technology we've created in the last 30 years. I've never been seen before in human history, and that is coming right back and shaping us as humans. That's where it's really at. The key is the big difference is digital immigrants and digital natives. That's what's happening right now. Digital immigrants are people like myself who were born way before the web, and we spent a lot of our life without any virtual environments. We had to migrate into them. Okay. Now, digital natives are people like my 13-year-old son who were born with those virtual environments, and for them, it's like, that's the way it is. Drew was saying, you know, this is the new ballot for everybody, you know, which is correct. So what we're actually seeing right now is not really a generational gap, which has always existed. There's always been a generational gap. What we're seeing is actually a generational break on fundamentals that had existed for thousands of years, like the concept of community. For thousands of years, community has been a physical concept. You went to be with your community. And all of a sudden, in less than 2 generations, it has become a virtual concept. Your community goes with you wherever you go, and it's online. That's what's really happening. And that kind of break is happening in how we see work, how we see communication, how we see ourselves, and how we see the world in general. It's all changing, all becoming new fundamentals. Okay? That's where it's at. And now, it's the time to ask ourselves, are those breaks taking us where we should be going? Are those breaks in fundamentals leading to a positive place? Companies expected, you know, all the IT stuff to make us more productive, more effective, right? Well, guess what? There's something called the Solo paradox that has analyzed a very strange phenomenon. From 1939 to the year 2000, the average annual increase in individual productivity in the US was 2.7% per year. From the year 2000 on, that went crashing down to 0.9% per year. And the only correlation they've been able to find is the intensive use of IT. So, now don't get me wrong. I love technology. I like it very much. I do a lot of my work online, and you know, it saves me a lot of time, a lot of effort. But here's the thing, I use technology. I never let technology use me. It's a mindful use of technology. So, when you're faced with new technologies, or any kind of technology, ask yourself, is this technology making me better physically? Is it making me better emotionally? Is it making me better intellectually? Is it making me better professionally? If the answer is no, but it's really fun, well, then look at it like, I don't know, like you would look at tequila or cake, you know, really fun and really great, but if you have too much of it, it's not going to be good for you. So it's mindful use of technology. I've been helping organizations for over 15 years of my life achieve that kind of mindful use of technology, and I can attest personally what a big, incredible change it makes in the quality of work and of life for people, really. Okay. We humans have a tendency to give more importance and preeminence to some of the things we create than to ourselves. Witness how many cities here in the US and how many suburbs are created for the car, not for people, right? Just try to get around without a car. So we can't allow that. I had the privilege of studying Kendo, which is the Japanese art of the sword, with an amazing teacher, Takahiko Seo. He came from a lineage of over 500 years of samurai family, and had this beautiful, amazing katana, 300 years old. And one day, I still remember in one of the classes we were having, he pointed to his sword and said, you know, I could let you have my sword, which he would never do that, okay? And I could take a broomstick and still beat you like in 5 seconds flat. Yeah, we believe him. And he said something, he said, remember that the most important thing is never the sword. It is the person that wields it. So this is the time to really ask ourselves, start an urgent conversation about what kind of new fundamentals we are creating, and about making really sure that those new fundamentals lead us to create and develop better humans, and very importantly, better communities.